Meanwhile, there have been some pockets of clashes and violence, mainly restricted to a few slum areas in Nairobi, following claims of fraud by the opposition. In Kisumu, however, the opposition's claims of victory have sparked quite the opposite reaction. In fact, supporters of opposition leader Raila Odinga took to the streets in celebration in Kisumu, and that's after Odinga claimed victory following Tuesday's vote. The opposition insists it has evidence that puts their candidate ahead of incumbent President Uhuru Kenyatta. But of course, the provisional results released by the Commission on its website show Kenyatta is in the lead by a large margin, with almost all polling stations counted at this stage. Well, let's go live now to Kisumu, where CGTN's Alexandra Majala is keeping tabs on developments there. Alex, it seems to be a situation that changes very much within 24 hours. We first saw reports of tension in Kisumu. Now we're seeing celebrations. What's the situation like this evening?
Thank you, Lindy. The situation this evening is that of complete calm and quiet. The streets are completely deserted. People have mostly gone home. Now, the weather did take a turn for the worse, and maybe that's a contributing factor. But it's important to note that the earlier incident was that of jubilation, and people were just basically celebrating after listening to Musalia Mudavadi from NASA during the press conference, and they were just basically happy that Musalia came out and said that, in their opinion, Raila did, of course, win. They were celebrating and waving branches in the air. There was no engagement with the police. There was absolutely no violence, and the people were just basically running up and down the street, just happy and celebrating. It was a small group, but a very enthusiastic group. Like I said before, there was no police presence, and there were a few helicopters in the air, but it was nothing to be alarmed about. Lindy?
And of course, we know that the Electoral Commission will release those results in the next day or so, and it's still most likely to favor incumbent President Uhuru Kenyatta. What is your expectation with regards to the reaction there in Kisumu, having seen the prevailing mood today?
Well, Lindy, like you said earlier, Kisumu has yo-yoed up and down. There's really no way to predict exactly what will happen should the results lean towards Kenyatta. What I do know is, speaking even to Raila's diehard fans, they would like to just be able to go back to their businesses and feel safe enough to open their businesses. They have expressly said that they would like for Raila and Uhuru to sit down alongside the IEBC and the international community, if necessary, to resolve this situation so they can be able to go back to their normal lives. Well, having said that, there are also those who feel that Raila must be president. So there's really no way to predict what will happen tomorrow. It's just a matter of wait and see, Lindy.
Absolutely. Well, thanks very much, Alexandra. They're keeping a close eye on developments from Kisumu.